Hi there, I'm Dr. Alessandra Latour, founder of the Latour Leadership Academy. For more than 16 years, I've helped leaders at every level move from overwhelmed and reactive to clear, confident, and strategic in how they lead. This podcast is where we get real about leadership. We'll talk about the patterns, habits, and pressures that shape how we show up, and more importantly, how to grow through them. Here, you'll learn practical tools for leading authentically, building trust on your team, communicating effectively, and making decisions that reflect your values, not someone else's expectations. Leadership is a skill, one you can learn, strengthen, and embody with intention. So, if you're ready to lead with more clarity, confidence, and presence, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast. Today, we're diving into something I see every single week in coaching sessions: overthinking. More specifically, that cycle where you make one decision, it doesn't go the way you expected, and then suddenly you find yourself second-guessing every choice after that. If you've ever found yourself staring at an email draft for way too long, rewriting a Teams message 3, 4, or 5 times, or hesitating to delegate because what if this is the wrong call, then this episode is for you. I want to start with something I've experienced personally. There was a time earlier in my leadership career where I made a staffing decision that I felt was the right call. I had weighed the data, I had talked to the team, I believed in it, but the outcome wasn't quite what I expected. In fact, it had some ripple effects that were honestly hard on the team. And I remember exactly what happened next. I went inward. I started questioning my instincts. Decisions that would have taken me minutes took me days. And if I'm being completely honest, that hesitation, that second guessing, impacted my presence as a leader far more than that original decision ever did. Because here's the truth that we don't say out loud. It's not the mistake that erodes our leadership. It's the loss of trust in ourselves afterward. When a decision backfires, our brains do what human brains are wired to do: try to protect us. We think, if I slow down, I won't mess up again. If I gather more information, I'll be sure. If I get more opinions, I'll feel safer. But what actually happens? We get stuck. We freeze. We start outsourcing decisions we're more than capable of making. This is what we call analysis paralysis, and it's more common when we care deeply about doing right by our team, we want to lead ethically and intentionally, and we're afraid of losing our team's trust. Which means overthinking isn't a flaw, it's actually proof you care. But caring without boundaries creates overwhelm. So let's talk about how to break out of that loop. I'm going to give you 3 practical ways to move from overthinking into more grounded, confident decision making. These are the same strategies I use with clients and the same ones I use myself. Tip number 1, anchor your decisions in your values. One of the biggest traps leaders fall into is making decisions based on what they think they should do, rather than what aligns with who they are and how they want to lead. So here's your filter. Is this decision aligned with my core values and the kind of leader I'm working to be? If the answer is yes, then the outcome, whether good or bad, is something you can stand behind with integrity. If the answer is no, it's a sign that fear, pressure, or external expectations are driving you. Value creates clarity, and clarity quiets the noise. Tip number 2, consider the impact on both the people and the work. A leader's job is to balance the well-being of the team and the needs of the work. Most overthinking comes from feeling like you have to choose one of those. But good leaders ask, how does this decision support the people and the outcomes we're responsible for? For example, if your team's burnt out, pushing a new initiative will likely fail anyway. If your team's disengaged, pausing to rebuild trust is actually productive work. Look at decisions through a holistic lens: short-term impact, long-term stability, human experiences, and performance outcomes. When you view it from all sides, the right direction often becomes clearer. Tip number 3, decide, then debrief, not the other way around. Perfection's not the goal, progress is. Once you make a decision, set a follow-up checkpoint. This is the decision we're making today. We'll review the impact in 2 weeks. This removes the pressure to get it perfect now, creates a built-in adjustment point, and reinforces that leadership is iterative. Leadership is not about never making mistakes. It's about responding to what happens next with clarity, compassion, and courage. If you take nothing else away from today's conversation, let it be this: your team doesn't need a leader who's always right. They need a leader who's willing to decide, learn, and move forward with them. When you give yourself permission to trust your judgment, even when things don't go perfectly, you show your team that confidence isn't about certainty, it's about grounded presence, and that's what builds trust. If you're listening to this and thinking this is exactly what I've been struggling with, I want to invite you to join our free weekly leadership newsletter. Every week, I share practical tools, mindset shifts, and real world scripts you can use right away, especially if you're working on becoming a more confident and authentic leader. You can join us at authenticleadershipunlocked.com. I'd love to see you there. Until next time, take care. Remember, leadership's a journey, and you're doing better than you think. Thanks for joining me today. If this episode resonated, I'd love for you to continue the conversation with me. Head on over to latourleadershipacademy.com. You'll find leadership tools, programs, and free resources designed to support your growth at every stage of your leadership journey. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe to our weekly leadership newsletter. It's where I share fresh insights, reflection prompts, and strategies you won't hear anywhere else. Thanks for spending your time here. Keep leading with intention, and I'll see you in the next episode.